Jones McLean, your insurance guru. I am a farmer's agent located at 11707 Ricestown Road in Ricestown, Maryland. Here, you can call me at 443-660-7131 or listen to my show every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. on WOLB.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hello, welcome to the Insurance Guru Show, where we talk about all.
All right, Miss Ramona Jones McLean, we will be going live in about 10 seconds.
Okay.
All right, you're live in 3, 2, 1, whenever you're ready.
Hello, DMV. This is Ramona Jones McLean, and I am glad to be back on our Insurance Guru Show. We are here today to talk about lots of things, just so that we can get it out of the way. If you want to call in, if you want to say hey, if you want to make a comment, if you want to talk about something on your own, please call. You can call into the station at 410-481-1010, or you can give me a text. You can text me at 443-660-7131, and I will acknowledge you and give your statement on the air. Because some people don't like to call in. They don't want to be heard on the radio. But if you want something, if you have something you do want to say, you can give me a call or give me a call on the air at 410-481-1010, or you can text me at 443-660-7131. So I'm going to tell you, it has been a long few months. As many of you know, I left because of medical reasons. My husband had a stroke, and I decided that the nursing home was killing him, and that if I wanted to save my husband's life, I had to bring him home. And after a month of negotiating with the nursing home about the level of care that I felt like my husband should be getting, I walked in there on a Friday morning, as I did every day. I was there every morning and every evening, and he was sitting in his feces. I immediately grabbed my husband. They said, "Oh, you're taking him without authorization. We're going to call the police." And you know what I said? I said, "No, I'm going to call the police." And I did. And I took my husband out of there, put him in a car, and brought him home on that day. Mind you, I had been preparing all along to bring him home. However, I was absolutely terrified. I was so terrified at what I had done that I was in the pharmacy trying to get the items for his wound. My husband had a 10 by 12 centimeter wound on his bottom that had been exacerbated while he was in the nursing home. It had doubled in size since he had been there. Prior to that, for a week, nonstop for a whole week, me and a team of 3 other ladies that were helping me had been calling the nursing home every 2 hours to make sure they had been turning him. And at that point, I was so exhausted on that Friday. I asked them that Thursday night, "Do we need to call that night?" And they said, "No, we got this." His wound, just in that 7-day period from them actually doing the job that they were hired for, had improved by 35%. Now today, as of this past Tuesday, my husband's wound is 2 by 4 centimeters, and we anticipate that it will be gone in the next month. But I was so hysterical, I just bust out crying in the middle of Walgreens. And the pharmacist just came around the counter. He stopped what he was doing and he was like, okay, let me help you. Tell me what you need. And I just want to give a shout out to the staff at Walgreens in Westminster who have been beyond helpful, because I acted on impulse at what the Lord was moving me. And the whole time in it, the Lord was saying to me, I've already prepared you for this. You've been watching, you've been paying attention, you've been learning, you know how to turn them, you know how to change them, you know what he needs in this room because you've done it. Like the whole time he was in the nursing home. But while the pharmacist at Walgreens just came around, he said, you need this, you need this, you need this. Here's the number to a home care service in Westminster. You need to call them. Make sure you get on the phone with your doctor and you need to ask for this, 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 and this. And once I got to the wound doctor, which took me 3 weeks to do that, he literally confirmed everything that the Lord had been telling me. If I hadn't taken my husband out, he would have been dead within 30 days. And sometimes what seems like the wrong decision, you just got to roll with it and allow the Spirit to speak to you and just move on it. And know that God has already given you everything you need to do what you need to do. And on that note, today we're talking about GoFundMe pages and starting a business, just business owners, period. You know, while I was out, I noticed that there was a lot of GoFundMe stuff going on. And I'm not talking about what I usually talk about for funerals. You know, somebody died, they didn't prepare. And now you got a GoFundMe page to set up to pay for the funeral. But I'm talking about beauticians who didn't get workers' comp, didn't make sure they had medical insurance, didn't take care of the things they need, and they got hurt on the job, and now they can't work. And so they set up GoFundMe pages, hoping their patrons will still continue to support them, even though they're not getting the service. When it's easy to prepare for that. I had a conversation with a gentleman a couple of days ago who did not see the sense of paying huge amounts for insurance. And I'm trying to explain to him, people have a hard time with insurance because you can't smell it, touch it, feel it, or eat it. But they're ready for it when something goes wrong. Insurance is the basis, the foundation of maintaining a stable financial environment. We need to know that. We need to understand that, and we need to realize that, yeah, and because especially right now in this market, because the cost of insurance is gone absolutely crazy. And it's not going to get better. The way we are coming out of this post-COVID environment is sucking the life out of stable financial environments. I was in a meeting yesterday and they were talking about, and I'm getting nonstop complaints from people who have homeowners insurance. And they were talking about the fact that some policyholders are experiencing 50 and 60% increases, where the loss ratios, the profitability ratios for some insurance companies are at 150%. And what that means is for every dollar that they're taking in premium, they're paying out $1.50 in losses. In that kind of environment, there is no way in the world rates are going to stay the same. And I know what you think. Okay. Well, I haven't had a claim. I haven't had a claim in 23 years. But you're participating in a pool of other people. Everybody puts their money. You paying on your homeowners $950 a year. Do you think your $950 is going to cover a $400,000 claim? Even let's see, $950 times 23 is only $21,000. But your house burns down and you're paying $450,000 out to get it repaired. That means you are taking other people's premium to help cover your loss. That's why, as a general community, we have to be responsible and maintain the upkeep on our properties so that we don't have unnecessary claims that could have been foreseen or could have been eliminated by just making the repairs on our roof when somebody advised us to a year ago. But we were talking about GoFundMe. GoFundMe. So there are a lot of GoFundMe pages out there. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're setting up a GoFundMe page, it's for something that people can grapple with. What does that mean? It's for something that people can get behind. I'm gonna be honest with you, I find it irresponsible for you to set up a GoFundMe page because you didn't have the interest or the foresight to get a workers' compensation policy for yourself, or because you didn't do proper planning to start your business. Now, my guest on here today was supposed to be a restaurateur who wanted to do a food truck. And of course, and I'm not sure because she's not on here today, she started off with the money. She took it out of her retirement plan to buy the food truck and did not foresee the additional cost associated with that and what needed to go in it. So she spent all her money on the food truck and the food truck needed repairs. She didn't have an assistance with her to work on what was necessary to go in the food truck. So she started a GoFundMe page to help generate revenue in order to get the additional items that was necessary for her to get started. Well, that didn't turn out. She actually didn't raise any money because along with just setting up a GoFundMe page, she didn't have a plan. When you are setting up a business, and there are a lot of opportunities out there, when you're setting up a business and you're looking for funding, there are a lot of ways to do it that is not GoFundMe. There are all other ways to do it through crowdfunding. Crowdfunding platforms that exist are Patreon. There's one for writers that's called Substack, right? There's one for writers that's called Substack, where you can get subscribers. The one on the Patreon, and that's Patreon, that also includes creating memberships or subscriptions. But the idea when you're doing crowdfunding is that you're giving people something for their investment. You're asking people to invest in your ideas. But the first thing you want to do when you're asking people to invest in your ideas is you have to have a clear-cut vision of what those ideas are. And which means you got to have a business plan. You can Google an outline for a business plan. that basically outlines your mission and your vision, talks about how the structure of your business is going to be set up, looks at um, what makes your business more unique, looks at why is this business going to be profitable. And that's the biggest thing. People come up with an idea, and it may be a good idea, but it's not a good idea for Northwest Baltimore because it's already 3 of them there. Or it's not a good idea for, I don't know, Virginia, because no one is interested in supporting that idea in that location. And part of your plan that you put in place needs to include a marketing analysis. You need to be able to show that you can sell what you are trying to sell in the environment that you're trying to sell it in. If you don't know how to create a marketing plan or marketing analysis, there are companies out there that can assist you. In fact, I used to be one. I used to have a company called Perfect Image Marketing. And one of the things I did is I went into a business, I analyzed it, I did surveys and understand the business, and I created a business plan, which included marketing strategies on how to promote and or establish your business interests. One of the things that is important, especially when you have people working with you, is that your mission and your goals are clear, that everyone understands that, and that everybody is on the same page. There are many analyses when developing a marketing plan. One of the most common ones is the SWOT analysis, SWOT or SWAT. Look it up. It's how you determine how you are getting a return on your investment, which is very important when you are looking at people investing in what you are doing. For example, we have sponsors for this show. One of the things that our sponsors get is they get notoriety on the radio, because we also do a podcast, and you can catch me on Podbean and on Amazon. We also are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. And so every time someone watches my show or looks at my video, my sponsor gets recognized. And I encourage my audience to please patronize my sponsors so they can continue to sponsor the show. And so they're getting something for their investment in what I am doing. There are many ideas. For example, if you're trying to get a product or a restaurant or a cook, you're a cook or you have an idea for a recipe, one of the things you can offer your subscribers or your investors is a monthly taste. So they can either show up at a particular location, or there's something you can mail out to them on a monthly basis that gives them a taste of what you are preparing and your ideas for your recipes. It's just something that they get in return for their investment, and they can get periodic updates that your business is growing. You need all these things in place for any sort of legitimate funding. There are many hard lenders, especially if you're doing credit card purchases, that you can go online. They call them payday loans or credit card loans if you're a business. That will give you money, but usually the payback is extensive, and the amount of interest that you have to pay is large. These lenders usually are not insured by the FDIC, and honestly can really do whatever they want to do. They still have to follow some form of lending rules, but it's wide open. You can always go to your bank. Of course, you still need a business loan, a business plan. And of course, the SBA has been wide open over the last 3 years, at least they were, to loaning small businesses that were trying to transition during COVID, or they were having difficulty in COVID. Of course, now those bills are coming due, and we're going to have to deal with the repercussion of monies that were borrowed during COVID. You also have business lines of credits that you can get from traditional banks through hard money lenders and or credit unions. Credit unions can be a really big resource, especially if you've been with them for a long time. You also have your business credit cards. If your credit score is 650 and above, it is easy. There's oftentimes also grants. These grants sometimes are hard to get. For your business credit card, you usually don't have to have a business plan, but for a grant, you do. There needs to be some level of accountability, which means you may need help in setting up the structure and the method in which you do business. Just because you have a good idea does not mean you can run a business. You need to be able to know how to set up the structure for your business, who's going to do what, because one of the biggest mistakes that small business owners make is that they try to do everything themselves in their business. And of course, you need to determine what type of business are you going to be, whether you're going to be a sole proprietor, an LLC, an S corp. You need an accountant. And don't think you can just go without having an accountant. You need an accountant, especially if you're going to run a business and you're going to plan for it to grow. There are many different things associated with what type of business you are registered as, and how you file every year. You need to talk to a professional with regards to that. You need to do your homework. If you want to start a business and you want it to be sustained, you need to be able to do that with knowledge and wisdom. But GoFundMe is not a platform, I believe, that can be used for everything you're doing. If you want to start a business, you need to plan for it. You need to do a business plan, set your budget, and that way you won't be overspending for things that you can't do anything with long term. One of the other things, and this is for my young parents, if you have a child, get them a life policy now, a accumulating universal life policy. When I started my first agency, my marketing agency, and when I turned 32 years old, the first thing I was able to do was take $10,000 out of my universal life policy that my dad had gotten me when I was 17. That's the first thing I was able to do. That allowed me the upfront capital that I needed to get in an office, to get my business started, to do all the things that I needed to do and to have to function as a legitimate business, to present as a legitimate business. And that's important, especially for me as a Black female, because I'm always dealing with issues of credibility. A life insurance policy was able to do that. The young lady who was supposed to be my guest today, she took money out of her 401k. Problem is she didn't know how much money she really needed. And so she needed to create a plan in order to do that. My business was to write business plans. And I did. I worked at it until I came back into insurance for 6 or 7 years. And I constantly had a flow of clients that hired me to come in and help develop their business. And I was able to use my life insurance to do that. In addition to that, understanding insurance, when you are a business owner, first thing you want to do is make sure you're not spending too much money in 6 different places. However, the last thing you want to do is to skimp on your insurance, especially if you are a new business owner, because one thing wrong and it could knock you off of the trail. One thing goes wrong, and it could knock you out of the pocket, and you won't have any money to restart. That's why you need to be properly insured. I was on the phone the other day. My little laptop, my little Surface tablet, something went wrong with it. The screen went bad. Apparently, I had it insured twice, and Assuron was trying to figure out which account to go through. Either way, I was gonna have to pay a deductible, but depending on which one applied would depend on what deductible I had to pay. In any case, the bottom line is I had a tablet that I use routinely because quite often I'm working from home as I'm still caring for my husband. I had a tablet that I needed to use and the screen was messing up. And all I literally had to do was make a phone call and say, hey, something's going on with my tablet. They said, okay, we're gonna send you a box. You send it to us, we'll fix it in 3 days and send it back. That's how it works. The building that I just bought at 11707 Ricestown Road, it's having problems with one in sync. I got a home warranty on it. Literally call the home warranty company and say, hey, something's going on with the garbage disposal in the sink. Okay, we'll be there on Friday. Yeah, am I happy about the fact that I gotta pay, I think it's like $80, $90 a month? And that's $90 a month. It could be going somewhere else. Yes. But when it's time to get something fixed, the furnace broke down 2 months ago on the second floor. The guy was saying you needed a new furnace. I called the home warranty company, $65 I had to pay them. And it was fixed within 1 day. And because I have coverage that is repair or replace, they didn't have to replace it. They repaired it and it was fixed within 1 day. My thing is this, we never want to pay for insurance, but we always want to be insured. And frankly, you get what you pay for. And when you're looking to start a business, there are methods that you can use. We have to have foresight, we have to be proactive, and we have to be planning. You have to plan in advance for the things that may come. It's really that simple. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk some more about this. If you have any questions, you can call us, 410-481-1010. This is Ramona Jones McClain, and I am your insurance guru.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore, celebrating Radio 1's 42nd anniversary.
Our Radio 1 family, our employees, their family members, our listeners, our viewers, our extended family.
And serving the African American community for over 42 years.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
As the road you travel changes, so can your insurance needs. Talking with Farmers Insurance Agent Ramona McClain can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. Call Farmers Agent Ramona McClain today. That's Ramona McClain. Give her a call today.
Hello, DMV. This is Ramona Jones McClain, your insurance guru. I am a Farmers Agent located at 11707 Ricestown Road in Ricestown, Maryland. Here, you can call me at 443-660-7131 or listen to my show every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. on WOLB.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
All right, right, you ready to go back live?
Yes.
Okay, you're live in 3, 2, 1, whenever you're ready.
Hello, DMV. All right, we are back. And we're talking about opening up a business, starting a process that in this economy may be necessary. I encourage you to be able to set your own day to create something that people may be interested in. Last fall we had a cupcake maker on. What was her name? That made cupcakes that look like watches, or what did she make cupcakes that look like, Taylor? She made cupcakes that look like watches, or I can't remember.
Bubbles galore.
What was it? What was the name of it?
Bubbles galore.
Bubbles galore. And her cupcake, were they cupcakes or were they?
They were donuts.
Donuts, but they
they were donuts.
They look like
they were soaps in the shape of donuts.
Okay, they were soaps in the. It was so it's not edible.
No, you can't eat it.
Okay, there was soaps in the shape of donuts. And she was having all of these events. And, this came out of the necessity of what she needed to do during COVID. And there are many people who are finding ways to control their financial situation on their independently. And I encourage you, if you are in a situation where you are just tired of going and doing work and you want to have more control over your own financial situation, yes, look at starting your business, doing the things that are necessary for you to create your own financial wealth. But in that,
you have a caller.
Okay. Hello, this is Ramona.
Hey, Brother Carlos here. How you doing, my sister?
All right. How are you?
Good. It's good to hear your voice.
Yes, sir.
And again, and I hope that your husband will get over his illness and recuperate well. I think you made a wise move in getting him out of that nursing home, even though it's an additional burden to you. I know. I did. Yeah. I wanted to just make a comment and to compliment you on giving the people the true facts about being able to buy quality insurance and having a quality agent, because many times you may not get what you pay for, but you'll pay for what you get. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for the cheapest way out, and you fail to cover all the bases, then you're up the creek. Now, let me touch upon, if you don't mind, just one item about the life insurance, since that was one of the roles that I played in one of my other life's journey. The life insurance policies are often overlooked when people stop paying the premiums on the life insurance, because they have built-in non-forfeiture values, which means that even if you have stopped paying the premiums for a while, the policy still will have some benefits of extended life insurance for you, term life insurance, and also could have some cash value. So if you have like some parents or relatives or uncles or what have you that have old life insurance policies laying around and they are deceased, and you think the policies are no good, that may not be true. They may have some money value in there that would be beneficial to you. And often people in our particular race, let's say, we overlook that. There is a lady writing a book on economics, and it says the richest plot of land in the nation is the graveyard. And which simply means that many times people go to their graves without the proper will, with the insurance policies that haven't been disclosed to their family, and all kinds of things, which means that there's a ton of wealth out there that has not been recovered when your relatives, unfortunately, go into their demise, as we have to. So if you don't have a quality agent who is able to review your policies and give you good information, and it's just a 90-day wonder out there looking to write insurance and to get the commission off of those policies, then you can lose the battle and the war as well. So I don't know whether you agree with that.
I absolutely agree. Some of those policies have paid up additions in it. So even though you stop paying it, the policy just reduced down to what your paid up addition was, and it's still worth something. Quite often, people get policies and they don't notify the beneficiary that the policy exists. And so somebody has passed away and the family doesn't know who they're insured with. And I get these calls all the time because the first thing you think is who was insuring their auto insurance? And we're the first person that they call. Well, maybe they didn't have a policy with us. Maybe they had a policy with somebody in Prime America that they bought it. Or maybe it was with two insurance agents previously, one of the other big carriers, and they just never, well, if you come to me and you got a permanent policy with one of the other carriers, I'm going to tell you not to move it, to just keep paying it. But quite often they don't pay it. They just let it sit there and you don't know it's there. And we don't publicize, like you don't publicize, you don't do obits anymore. You know what I mean? You post stuff on your social media, so the insurance company's not going to know that the person's deceased.
Could I just make one other point? And I think this is worth looking at, is that be sure that who you name as the beneficiary, particularly on your life insurance policy, is a person who can be trusted. And I had a member of my family. Unfortunately, the mother passed away and had put a beneficiary on the daughter, out to the daughter, and the daughter just took the funds and ran and didn't pay the funeral expenses or any of the things that the mother had planned for her final departure. And so you have to have a trusted individual, particularly if you're using the policies for your funeral expenses and last rites and so forth. And so that's something that people have to look out for, because the beneficiary is able to get the money immediately, regardless of whether there is a will or not. So again, yes, and again that is a big big pitfall. And the life insurance policy, one final point, is a different kind of animal. It is different than any other policy. It is different than your automobile policy or your homeowner's policy, because of the nature of the contract and the inherent benefits that it has in it. So that it is just something that it's a wealth building item.
Yes, it is. It's one of the reasons, we've had attorney Nick McDaniels that handles trust and family law. One of the things, if you've got concerns regarding whether or not your beneficiaries are going to do what you have instructed them to do, you can set up a trust that where the beneficiary can be the trust and the trustee can make sure that the money is dispersed the way. Of course, you also have to find a trustworthy trustee that's going to do what you say do, but at least with regards to setting up a trust, there is a third party involved, which will be an attorney who is legally bound to make sure that everyone acts as you intended them to act.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and this is wonderful statement. I was out your way about a week ago. It was at night because I had gone up your way to a family's child's birthday party and everything, and I remember that Chinese restaurant up there, which used to be really quality, but that one they have up there now really it sucks. The food, I don't recommend anybody go up there if they go up there to get Chinese food because it's gone downhill. And I don't know why that's the case, but anyway, I bless you, my sister, and hope, and I truly hope sincerely that everything works out with you and your husband as far as his illness is concerned. It's a terrible burden to bear. It's a terrible burden to bear. The nursing homes, unfortunately. People are out for just a paycheck. It's just a paycheck, and it's unfortunate in some regards, and that's something that we have to stay on top of as far as our relatives are concerned. Well, thank you for letting me have my rant, my sister, and I appreciate you.
All right.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
And it's good to hear from you, Brother Carlos.
Yeah, God bless you. Right. Bye.
God bless you. All right. Absolutely good to hear from Brother Carlos that we are and talking about life insurance. Life insurance has so many benefits, not just a death benefit, but also a living benefit. And it can help you create the financial wealth that you need in so many places. And for parents looking for, we set up our college fund, we put in $50 a month. My granddaughter's life policy that I got for her when she was 15 days old, it cost me $15 a month. I think I just went to $20 a month, putting into the policy. $20 a month for 18 years is a lot of accumulation. And if you put it in the right type of policy, it can do something. If you got right now, the farmer's IUL is yielding anywhere between 8 to 12%. I believe that's accurate. If it's not, please forgive me, and I will correct it if you call me individually. But I believe it's between 8 to 12%. We haven't had those kind of yields since the 80s when the UL first came out. I have chosen to take the money in her account value and roll it over into an IUL so that her account value can yield more than just the 3% that the regular UL was yielding. But these vehicles, life insurance can do a lot. If you're a business owner and you are looking at developing your financial strength, one of the things that you want to get is life insurance. I was helping a client actually last month in January, and he was getting some small business funding from the not the SBA, but another organization. And one of the things they insisted that he have is life insurance, and they assign or they make that funding organization the assignee. And what that means is that if something should happen to him, the balance of his loan would be paid off immediately, and then the rest would go to whomever he designates his beneficiary to be. Why is life insurance important? Because it is an asset. It actually is considered an asset. You look at the assets in your life, your vehicle. Your vehicle is a depreciating asset. That means every year its value goes down. Every year it's worth less and less. Your house is an appreciating asset. One of the things that people look at when trying to start a business, when trying to aspire towards your dream, is do you own your house? That is an asset. There is value in your house. That's why home ownership is important, because you can use the value in your home toward collateral to creating more financial growth. Do you own expensive jewelry? That is considered an asset, especially if it's really nice jewelry. Do you own equipment and instruments? That is considered an asset. Do you own life insurance? That is considered an asset. It is something that can be guaranteed against if in fact something happens to you, that debt can be paid off. Insurance is not just something to take your money. It is an opportunity to create financial growth. Absolutely. And Brother Carlos was correct. You get what you pay for. I know right now in this environment, we are trying to put out as least money as possible. It costs more, and to put gas in our car, gas is going up. It costs more to get our house repaired or something fixed. That's why you need to properly insure it, so that you don't have to pay but your $65 deductible if something goes wrong. You don't have to put out $300 and $400 for an expert to come out to your house to fix something. It's better to drip a little bit into that bucket than to have to put out a whole lot when something happens. Insurance is important, and I'm happy here to talk to you about it on a weekly basis, and help you prepare and plan instead of GoFundMe. GoFundMe is a wonderful vehicle. If you got a children's group that wants to go, I don't know, to Florida to perform in Disney World, they need $15,000 to go. It is a wonderful thing to set up and to use. I'm not down in GoFundMe, but for things that can be planned for, things that can be we can be proactive about, we should be. It is irresponsible not to be. All we have to do is not go to McDonald's one day. Buy one less cupcake at the grocery store. Instead of getting them sodas, drink water. It's a necessary sacrifice for long-term growth. It just is. And it just requires a little focus and concentration on what is important. But you got to know what's important. And that's why I'm glad to be here to help and assist you in making that determination. And if you ever have any questions, you can always give me a call. You can help me help you. I don't know what your concerns are if I don't hear from you. And I would love to hear from you. You can text me at 443-660-7131. You can send me a message on Facebook. We do respond, or on Instagram. What's the Instagram page, Taylor? Taylor, what's the Instagram page? Okay, I guess she's not there. But you can go to facebook.com, Farmers, Ramona Jones McClain, Farmers Agent. and you can send me a message. You can also text the office at 443-660-7131. And that will allow us to get your information. And we're pretty good at responding back to you and getting back to you and answering your questions. No question is too small or too stupid or is irrelevant. There are going to be a lot of changes as we move forward over the next 12 months that a lot of people are going to be confused about. It's one of the reasons why I went on and got back on the air. Homeowners rates are one of them. They're going to be increasing by 50%. You're going to have mandatory 1% deductibles happening. You're going to have situations where inspectors not only are going out to your house, but they want to see not only the exterior, but the interior. They're looking for situations where there may have been damage that has not been notified of, where things are not well maintained, where something is going on and you're just waiting to file a claim, which is considered pre-existing conditions. And that is something new because in the past, and since I've been an insurance agent, we've never had to do an interior inspection, and that's going to be required. You can do a self-inspection where you can send pictures, both interior and exterior, but it is a situation where they're looking for ways to tell you no. And you need to be smart consumers, understand what the trends that are happening in the market, and do your due diligence. Because they're trying to find ways to not pay a claim. It's what the whole job of a claim rep is, a claim adjuster. His job is to adjust your claim within the limits and parameters of what they want to pay. Point blank. So be smart consumers up front, do your due diligence, and effectively take care of your things. If your items, accidents happen, acts of God happen. If your items are well maintained, effectively taken care of, it cannot be denied. Now anything can happen, they can deny, but simplistically, they can't say no to something that just happened. And that's why we've got to do what we got to do. If you have questions, please call me. My office number is 443-660-7131. And we're there in the office from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6 on Fridays, and 11 to 3 on Saturdays. Auto insurance is going to be taking a big shift also. You're going to see grave increases because of the losses that have occurred. The best and the most effective way is just to hunker down. The idea that you can shop, and a lot of people think that's the idea, to shop. Sometimes you just got to ride it out. You do. You just have to ride it out. And that's kind of where we are right now. But we were talking about small businesses and the opportunity to start one and what is necessary and how you can use financial vehicles to assist with that. Mr. Brother Carlos was on the air telling us about life insurance and doing your due diligence. Now, there used to be a organization, a website that you could go to find out if there was something out there that was associated with your loved one, like life insurance that maybe you didn't know about. I don't remember the website. There used to be a place you could go to see if your loved one had life insurance or a financial product out there that maybe it was in a paid up edition status or in a non-forfeiture status that was sitting out there that had funds in it, even if it was just a couple thousand. And I'm going to find out that website and I'll have it for you next Thursday, where you could go out and check and see if there was something going on. If there was a product out there that had their name on it or associated with their social security number. I'm going to find that out and figure out and get that back to you. But I am glad to be back. Yes, my husband is doing well. We are out of the deep end and on the other side of getting well and progressing quickly. I'm really excited and happy that I brought him home. Do not be afraid to do what you have to do and make the sacrifices that you have to make for your loved ones, because that's what they're here for. You only get a little bit of time on this earth and you want your great reward. My name is Ramona Jones McClain. I am your insurance guru, and I am here to talk to you about all things insurance. We are located at 11707 Reisterstown Road. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. I'm so happy to be back with you. Please, if you have anything you want me to talk about, send it out to me, and I will be happy to accommodate. Again, I'm Ramona Jones McClain, your insurance guru, and we are out.